Yes. So yes, hello everyone. Welcome to Shiksha Dwar. Yes, gateway to knowledge. Hope so. You're studying for the coming examination in a foolproof mode. I mean, your studies for the coming examination are going well. And to boost up this preparations for the coming examination, we are the team Shiksha Dwar is with you with the result oriented rapid revision. Yes, these three faculties, CA Tushar Taparia, CA Adarsh Joshi, and CA CS Darshan Jain sir, we all are coming to meet you live on the given schedule for the rapid revisions of GST, law, and FMSM. Now, this is CA Tushar Taparia in front of you, who is going to take care the result-oriented rapid revision series of GST. Yes, I'm going to take care of the GST rapid revision, in which we are going to learn all the concepts of GST in a very short time period, like just as GST marathon. Yes. Now, you can join our Telegram channel or WhatsApp channel. Our Telegram channel is going to give you all the free resources which are available with us and which will be more beneficial for you. And our WhatsApp channel is having a group which is totally spam free, in which you are going to communicate one-on-one with the faculties for any queries. Yes. So in front of you are the QR codes. You can scan this and join both the groups, or you can click on the link in the description to join the groups. Now, further, these are the links in front of you of our YouTube channel and Instagram profile. You can join both. You can subscribe our YouTube channel for coming updates and all the live batches and free batches which are going to give on you on YouTube. And you can join our Instagram page to follow, to see more the reels, videos, shorts, and any updates about the batches. Now, you can also access all our batches and products from our website shikshadwar.com from your laptop, or if you are an Android user or iOS user, if you want to watch all the videos and all the sessions and courses on your mobile, then you can download our application from the Play Store or the App Store. Yes, or the problem, you can use this QR codes to download the things. Now, coming further towards the main thing, that is GST Brahmastra for CA Intermediate coming examination. Yes. Now this GST Brahmastra book is designed to cover all your concepts of GST, concepts of GST only for your coming examination. And through this book, you are very easily going to learn all the concepts, revise all the concepts, and this book can help one day before your examination to cover all the concepts related with the GST. Yes, in short, in this series of result oriented rapid revision of GST, we are going to revise the whole conceptual content of GST. Yes, so without wasting your time, let us start with the concept. Yes. So this will be our table of content in front of you. GST and introduction, supply, charge of GST, time of supply, value of supply, place of supply, exemptions, input tax credit, tax invoice, credit debit notes, registration, accounts and records, TDS, TCS, e-way bill, payment of tax and returns. In short, we are not going to leave a single chapter itself. We are going to cover the whole concepts of GST. No chapter will be left behind. Yes, so there will be a 100% coverage of the concepts of GST. So let us start. Let us start with the result oriented rapid revision series of GST. Yes, GST and introduction. Here all, let us start with the meaning of the word tax. What do you mean by tax? Yes, Somewhere I am going to speed up the concepts, and where necessary I will slow down to make you ensure that you can learn that concepts more deeply. Yes, but not everywhere. Okay, so let us start. What is tax? What is tax? In the ancient times, king used to charge kar from the general public living in their kingdom. Yes, through this kar, the king used to manage the kingdom to give the facilities to the public living inside the kingdom. So more basically, the tax word has the origin from the Hindi word kar that the king used to charge in the ancient time. And today we charge tax from the common public, either from their income or from their transaction. Yes. What government where government is utilizing the taxes that we contribute to them. The taxes are being utilized by the government. These are a revenue, but government utilize this to meet their expenses like defense, education, healthcare, facilities like roads, dams, infrastructure. Yes, all these things. You are seeing nowadays in majority of the cities, metro projects are going on. Yes. How these metro projects are going to be managed? Yes. Need. Yes, money. Yes. From where they are going to generate this money? From taxes. It's a source of revenue, and this source of revenue of the government is utilized towards such types of expenses of the government, which can give more and more good facilities to the public living in the society. So basically the tax word is here. Now how can you accept that the tax word, we have told you the meaning and you accept it like this? No, every legal word has a legal validity in our India. And this all legal validity is given by the Constitution of India. So where this word tax has a legal validity in Constitution in article number 265 of the Constitution. The article number 265 of the Constitution says that no tax shall be levied or collected except by authority of law. It means the law gives authority to collect and levy taxes. Got the thing? Oh, sorry. The authority under law is given to the authority to collect and levy taxes. Now, first, basically, what is the meaning of the word tax? We have dealt with. Now, in depth, tax means it covers all. It covers all taxes, duties, fees, etc., everything. Levy means, yes, levy means charge. First you levy taxes on a particular person, and after that there is a process of collection of that levy from that person. Yes. And who is given the authority? The authority is given under article 246 of the 7th schedule under three lists: union list, state list, and the concurrent list. Yes, union list, state list, and the concurrent list. Now under this three list, authority is given to levy and collect tax. Now the next term, law. I will come for the meaning of this three list afterwards. Now before that we should understand the term law. Now what do you mean by law? Now here the term law means five things. First, act. Second, rules. Third, notification. Fourth, circulars. And fifth, case laws. All these five things makes the law. Yes, makes the term. Now what are the acts under GST that make the law? CGST Act, IGST Act, SGST Act, UTGST Act, and GST Compensation Cess Act. These all five acts are there under the term act. Rules, again same: CGST, IGST, SGST, UTGST rules. Yes. Notification are there. What do you mean by notification? Yes, any new changes or amendments are there, that is given under the prevailing act or the rules. Circulars, clarification on any section that is already explained in the act. More explanation is needed, there will be circulars. And case laws. What do you mean by the word case laws? Case laws are basically the meaning that is derived from the judgment given by the High Court and Supreme Court judges. Yes, the judges on any cases that is being like a dispute on a particular section, or say the SEC is not agreeing on a section, but the income tax or GST authorities are giving them, no, this section will be like this. So that case is represented in the court, High Court or Supreme Court, and in many cases it is like that the High Court or the Supreme Court judgment overrules the provisions of yes, they subsides over the provisions of the act. So these are also important to make a part of, and all the five things makes the term LAW law. Yes. Now coming further towards the list, union list, state list, and concurrent list. In union list, there is a list of all the responsibilities which is with the central government, parliament. State list covers all the responsibilities with the state government, and concurrent list covers all the responsibilities with both the central government as well as the state government. Yes. So this is all about the basics of the things. What do you mean by the word tax and the legal authority given to the word tax from the Article 265 of the Constitution of India. Now, coming towards directly. So tax. Tax means two things: direct tax, indirect tax. Now the difference: direct tax, person paying the tax to the government directly bears the incidence of tax. See the image, the person is bearing the tax burden directly, yes, but in case of indirect tax, the burden is shifted from one person to another. Yes, see how the producer is shifting the burden of tax to the consumer. This is the main basic difference between the two terms, direct tax and indirect tax. Now coming further, direct tax are progressive in nature. Yes, higher income, higher tax, lower income, lower tax. But indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Yes, it means everybody is going to equally bear the burden of tax. Either the person is earning more income, is a rich or poor. Everybody is going to pay equal amount of tax in indirect taxes. Now, see, indirect taxes, always anytime when we purchase any product from a shop, we see these things. MRP, inclusive of all taxes, means what? Indirect taxes. It means in this MRP, which is included of all taxes, you cannot calculate the exact amount of indirect taxes you are paying to the government. So that's why here you don't know how much burden you are bearing. But in case of direct taxes, you exactly know how much you are paying to the government. Yes. So this is the basic differences. Yes, features of indirect tax. Now I'm going to speed up from here. Indirect tax, first feature, important source of revenue to government. Yes, because in case of direct taxes, there is a threshold limit. Yes, basic exemption limit. After crossing their basic exemption limit, only you are going to liable to pay the tax to government. But there too, there are many deductions and all the things. Slabs also are there. Yes, but in case of indirect taxes, there is no limit, and the burden is shifted. Producer is shifting the burden to the distributor shifting the burden to the wholesaler shifting the burden to the retailer, and the retailer shifting the burden to the final consumer. Ultimately, tax is going to be paid by the consumer. Ultimate burden is going to be borne by the consumer, and government is going to surely get the tax amount on that particular product. Yes. So important source of revenue, 50% more than is being contributed by the indirect taxes. Now, in indirect tax, sorry, in indirect tax, there is tax on commodities and services. In case of indirect taxes, there is tax on commodities and services. Burden is being shifted. Inflationary is nature because it is related with the price of the commodity, yes, or services. As the indirect taxes will increase, the price of that particular commodity will also increase, and thus inflation will increase. Wider tax base, yes, it is having a wider tax base as compared with the direct taxes. No perception of direct pinch, yes, I told you earlier. Yes, see this example, MRP inclusive of all taxes. In this, can you tell me how much amount of tax is involved in the MRP? No, you cannot directly pinch the amount of taxes. Yes, And the last one, regressive nature. Yes, I have seen that. Either rich or poor, all are going to bear the equal burden of taxes. Now see the genesis of GST in India. All this we are talking about the indirect taxes. Now we are talking about the GST. GST is a type of indirect tax that is being levied in India. And this is the history, I can say that's a journey of GST in India. Yes, how GST became the Indirect Tax Act in India. GST. Now, in the year 2000, the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee introduced the concept of GST, and then they set up a committee to form and design the model of GST for India. Yes. Now, in 2006, the model was designed. Union Finance Minister in 2006 and 7 budget announced that we are going to introduce GST from April 1, 2010. In 2006 itself, it was announced. Now, but in 2010, there was no introduction of GST in India. After that, 2014, yes, Constitution 122 Amendment Bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha. See, whenever you have to change the act or you have to bring a new act, there is a required amendment in the constitution. Yes. So that bill was introduced in 2014, and again that bill was passed and become an act in 2016. Many changes were there. Bill was introduced, again rejected. Bill was introduced, again rejected. Changes, and finally one time on August 2016 it was passed as an act. Now, in September 2016, first GST Council meeting was held. GST Council, yes, we'll take this further. What do you mean by GST Council? First meeting was there, and the council recommended that there should be CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST, and compensations as well. Yes, the GST Council meeting suggested that there should be these things in March 2017. After that, in April 2017, all the CGST, IGST, UTGST, and compensation cess, the bill was passed, and this became the acts. Yes, earlier we have seen this act: CGST Act, SGST Act, UTGST Act, IGST Act, and compensation cess bill act. Yes. Now further, after this, April 2017, the acts were passed, and from 30th June 2017, all states except Jammu and Kashmir passed their SGST acts. CGST Act being passed by the government, central government, but SGST Act was required to be passed by the state governments of each and every state. So on 30th June 2017, except Jammu and Kashmir, all the states in the India passed the SGST Act. After that, GST was launched, and after launching GST on 8th July 2017, SGST Act, of which state was remaining? Jammu and Kashmir. That was passed. This is the journey of GST. See how GST was introduced and as an idea in 2000, and when in 2017 it was implemented. A long journey of 17 years. Yes. Now, how GST affected? GST affected like a funnel. Yes, sir. How? Because early, before GST, there were many indirect taxes. See, many indirect taxes in front of. There were many indirect taxes like central sales tax, service tax, luxury tax, tax on lottery, surcharge and says many other, central excise duty, additional excise duty, CVD, special CVD, entry for all tax, entry tax like this, purchase tax, VAT, sales tax, entertainment tax, etc., etc. And all these tax were subsum. There is a word, subsum. There were different central taxes and state taxes, and all the central taxes and the state taxes subsum under one word, GST. Under one word, GST. See, this all were subsum under one word, GST. Yes, but though many taxes were subsum under GST, but there were some taxes which were not subsum. It means today itself they are also prevailing with GST. Along with GST, this taxes are also there present. Yes, which are this? Which were not subsumed under GST: property tax, stamp duty, electricity duty, excise on alcohol, basic custom duty, excise on petrol. Yes, these were the taxes which were not subsumed. Yes, and today with GST, these taxes are prevailing. With GST, these taxes are prevailing. Yes, coming further, sir, was there an actually a need for GST in India? These taxes were not sufficient in India to make the development of India. Yes, central sales tax, VAT, sales tax, excise duty, these things were not sufficient. Why we needed GST in India? So the explanation on this is in front of you. Though there were many taxes before GST, but that taxes were not even sufficient to make the development of India properly. Why? There were many flaws. There were many things in that taxes, like these things in front of you. There was no SENVET after manufacturing state. See, as this is an indirect taxes, the burden is shifted. Manufacturer will pay the tax to the government, recover from you. Yes, he is going to pay to tax to the government after recovering from you. Yes, the wholesale himself is going to recover from the retailer and the retailer from the consumer. Now, as if in case of SENVET, there was no SENVET after manufacturing stage. It means there was SENVET only at the manufacturing state, not the retailer, not the wholesaler, no consumer. So how the burden will be shifted? And the basic feature of indirect taxes is that burden is shifted. But in this case, no burden shifted. Got this point? So, like this was one mistake in this law of SENVET. After that, see, non-integration of VAT and service tax. There are different VAT and different service tax. Now, what happened? Both were not integrated. Means, if you are say recovering VAT, charging VAT, and you are charging service tax. Yes, say for example, you have paid a VAT and you are charging service tax. So how will you have a setup of these taxes, input and output? You paid tax on the input, recovering tax from the output, but no credit, no set of non-integration. This was a problem. Yes. So like this, there were the problem like double taxation, cascading of taxes, double taxation, tax on tax, cascading of taxes. Yes, taxes were cascaded on account of levy of non-taxable CST and inclusion of SENVET in the value of imposing VAT. See, there were two things. Double taxation is different. Cascading of tax. Cascading of tax means tax on tax. You are applying tax rate on already tax product with along with the tax. Yes, these were the problems. Yes. So there was a recent need for GST in India due to these problems. And this is what they have to subsum all the taxes, central and state, to make one word GST. Now, coming further, see features of GST. This is very similar to what we have seen right now of the features of indirect taxes. Value added tax. As the value will be added, the additional value added will be taxed. Yes, cascading of taxes. The main impact of GST, no cascading of taxes. Burden borne by the final consumer. Yes, we know. Continuous chain of tax credit. Yes, GST have this feature that you are going to get continuous credit in every supply chain. Yes, and uniform tax structure all over India. No different rates, no different things and all. A uniform structure. Yes, again coming to the framework of GST. Now, see how GST is being framed in the India. In India, how GST is framed. GST in India comprises of CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST. Yes, we know these things. We are listening this thing from the first page itself. Single legislation for each and every act with uniform features. Yes, one rule for each and every one. No different rule, no different formats, no different rates, only one. Single legislation. Yes. Every supplier of goods or services is required to obtain registration. Yes, this is compulsory. in the state or unity as per the provisions of the act. Every supplier of the goods required to registration if the particular threshold limit is being crossed. Yes, there is a common GST electronic portal. This is the website, common website, shared infrastructural website between the central and the state government, so that there should be a full transparency of what revenue is coming in, how expenditure being made. Providing relief to small businessmen. Yes, again there is a composition levy concept. Yes, many exemptions are being given on the goods and services where there is no requirement of GST. Yes, unnecessary to raise their prices. Compensation says, yes, this is the term. What is this compensation says? Earlier, when the concept of GST being introduced as a bill in the Sabha, there was a difference in opinion between the states. One state was agreeing but another was not, because some states were thinking this will be beneficial in terms of revenue, but some states were having a revenue loss. So to compensate the states, this came compensation cess. So compensation cess being levied on the transaction, and this compensation, the central government is going to compensate the state government for the revenue loss due to implementation of GST. And after that, dual GST model where central and state government both are involved. And after that, in GST you are going to find HSN code. What do you mean by HSN? Harmonized system of nomenclature. In this using this HSN code, you are going to classify the goods and the service. There is a different code for each goods and each services. So it will be a very good system under which you can classify all the services and classify all the goods under GST using the HSN code. Now this is all about GST, the term GST. Now coming further, reading about the articles which are important with GST. Yes, which are important. See, this will be important is as a part of your MCQs. Okay, articles. Now all we know what is the constitution and what is there in the constitution of India. Yes, now coming towards article number 1, article 245. Yes. Now article number 245 of the act, sorry, of the constitution of India, what it says, article 245 says that Parliament may make laws for whole or any part of the territory of India, and legislation of a state may make laws for the whole or any part of the state. Very clear and easy format. I am going to tell you about this. 245 article number 245 of the constitution tells that central government can make law. Very important, make law. Article 245 gives the power to make law to the central government for the whole of India, and to the state government to the particular state. Yes, to the state government for the particular state to make laws. In short, 245 gives the power to make law. Yes. Now, article number 246A 1 and 2. Now, 246A1 gives power to the state government. Yes, state government to make laws with respect to GST. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Series 245 gives the power to make any law, and 246A gives the power to make law for GST. And under 246A1, the power is given to the state government to make laws with respect to GST, and 246A2, the power is given to the central government to make laws with respect to GST. See, these articles are very easy to learn. 245 gives the power to make laws, and 246A1 and 2 gives the power to make laws with respect to GST. Article 269A. Yes. See what it tells. GST on supplies in the course of interstate trade or commerce shall be levied and collected by the central government. See, here power is given to the central government to collect taxes, to levy and collect taxes on interstate supply. Yes, interstate supply. Yes, further we are going to have the meaning of the term interstate, what it includes and all things. Now coming towards the next article, article 279A empowers the president to constitute a joint forum for central and state, namely Goods Service Tax Council. Yes, GST Council. Yes, it empowers the president to make a GST council. So the president using this power, made a GST council. Yes. And after that, article number 366. Again, three parts: 366 12A, 26A, 26B. 366 12A. GST can be levied on which? On supply of goods and services. This term is the very important term in the whole concept of on which GST is levied. GST is levied on supply of what? Goods and services, except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. And article 366(26)(a) tells that service means anything other than good. We are going to learn the definition of service further. Yes. 366(26)(b). State includes a union, territory and legislature. Oh, where the word state is there in the whole act, in the whole descriptions of GST. The state terms include union territory also. Yes, the state term includes union territory also. Now, coming further to the term GST Council. Yes, we are very near to end the chapter of introduction of GST. Yes, again, I am telling, as this is a marathon and I am taking this marathon from the very basics. Anybody who don't need this chapter, they can skip video and go to the particular chapter they want. All the timestamps are given in the description itself. Any chapter you want to watch, you can follow the timestamp and watch the videos of that particular chapter. Yes. So coming further to the GST Council. How this counseling is how this council is being constituted and how decisions are made in this council. Yes, see this, the first point constitution, second point decision. Yes, the first point is constitution and the second point is decision. Now see the thing, the Union Finance Minister is the chairman of this council. The recently Union Finance Minister is the Nirmala Sitharaman. Yes, madam. He is the chairman of the council and minister in charge of finance, taxation or any other minister nominated by each state and union territory with the legislature and its member beside the union minister of state in charge of revenue and finance. These people are the members of GST Council. Yes. Who is the chairman? Union Finance Minister. There will be a minister in charge of finance, taxation. Yes. Or any other minister nominated by each state. See, there will be a nominated person of each and every state. Yes. After that, how decisions are being made? Every decision of GST Council is taken by majority voting. Okay, majority voting. How it will work? Of not less than 3/4 of weighted votes of the members present and voting. All the members present and voting. 3/4 is the majority. 3/4 means 75% is the majority. Yes, and among that 3/4, center has a weight of 1/3 of the total votes cast and state will have the remaining 2/3. See, very clearly I am writing here. 3/4 is the majority and out of this 3/4, how decision will be made? 1/3 will be the part of central government and 2/3 will be the part of state government. Among the total voting in the meeting, if any any decision is to be passed, it will be passed on the basis of majority voting, that is 3/4. And among this 3/4, the decision will be passed only if this 3/4 contains at least 1/3 voting from the central and 2/3 voting from the state government. Only then decisions are going to be passed. Now, further functions. Sir, what are the functions of GST Council? Make recommendation. Very clear. No decisions. Only make recommendations. Decisions will be taken by central government or state government. They can only recommend it. GST Council is only going to recommend what to the union and the state on important issues like what should be the tax rates, where exemptions should be provided or not. After that, threshold limit, what should be the threshold limits, dispute resolution between the central and the state. Yes, these all are the functions of GST Council. Apart from this, the second function is to recommend the further date. See, from these two lines, it is very clear that the main function of GST Council is of recommendation. Yes, recommendation. Now, here in the second point, GST Council may recommend the further date on which GST will be levied on petroleum crude, high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel. Yes. Right now, no GST on this product. But there will be a further date on which GST will be levied on these products. Which are the products? Petroleum crude, high speed diesel, yes, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel. These are the products. And thirdly, it shall recommend the special provisions related to the special category of states. Yes, in GST there is a term special category of states in which there is a group of states. So what? Special treatment from this? No. There are some special provisions which GST Council may recommend to the central and the state government, that what special provisions should be made for this category of states. Like in the registration chapter, there is a different threshold limit for the special category of states. Now, what are the special category of states in front of you? Mizoram, Uttarakhand, Nagaland, Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura, Jammu and Kashmir. Sir, we have to learn all this. Yes, keep in mind, it's very easy. Yes, we can form a short sentence. Munna, M-U-N-A, Munna has when booked his ticket on MMT for Jammu and Kashmir. Very easy statement. Munna has booked his ticket on MMT for Jammu and Kashmir. So this is how you can learn these things. Yes. Now there are certain union territories which are with state legislature and certain union territories which are without state legislature. Yes. These are the union territories without state legislature. It means on this union territories of Chandigarh, Dadra, Nagar Haveli, Daman Diu, Lakshadweep Islands, Ladakh, Andaman and Nicobar. Yes, here UTGST is there. Here UTGST is there. But in these three union territories, there is no UTGST. There is SGST. There is SGST. Very clear. In these three, Delhi, Puducherry, Jammu and Kashmir, there is SGST. But in the rest, there is UTGST. Very clear. Yes. 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 Coming further to the benefits. To the benefits. Sir, what are the benefits the nation is having, the economy is having due to implementation of GST? What are the benefits? See the benefits. Benefits to the economy. Yes. Creation of unified common national market. The market now is a national market. Further, due to restriction of different states, different acts and different provisions, rules like this, different rate, no unification was there. But now, because of GST, the whole national market is being unified. Now, second thing, what a benefit to the economy? Make in India campaign. Yes, a boost. The Make in India campaign was launched by the central government. So now a boost is given by GST to that campaign. Enhanced investment and employment. Yes. Now everywhere you will find more opportunity for investment and more opportunities for the employment. After that, simplified tax structure, uniformity in laws. Laws, rates are being made many uniform and simple. Yes, very simple. Earlier there were many rates, every state different rates, different policies, different rules, regulation. Now all are under a uniform law with the uniform rate across all over India. Common system of classification of goods. Yes, Now there is no classification of different state, different classification. There will be one nation and one classification for each product. Yes, using HSN code. Easy tax compliance. Compliance is being made very easy. Yes, because the whole process is automated using the IT infrastructures. Yes. Now, what is the advantage to the trade and industry? Benefits to the trade and industry with seamless flow of credit is the main benefit. Now, the credit is going to seamlessly flow from the producer to the consumer for the whole supply chain. Mitigation of all ill effects of cascading like this, which the earlier tax acts were having. Benefit to the small traders, entrepreneurs, yes, because of composition levy, yes, like this thing. Now, coming to further, seamless flow of credit. The main benefit to the whole trade and commerce industries. But what is the meaning of seamless flow of credit? See, for example, I'm going to speed up this example. Yes. Now, for example, say this is a person, Mr. A. This is a person, Mr. A, and Mr. A supplied goods to Mr. B. Yes, Mr. A supplied goods to Mr. B. Now, when he is going to supply, he made a sale of 1 lakh rupees where 9% CGST, 9% SGST, because the transaction is interstate. Yes, but in interstate you apply IGST. Yes. Now, interstate, in the same state, Mr. A Mr. A collected tax from Mr. B and paid the same to the government. Now, when supplying, Mr. A collected tax from Mr. B at the rate 9% CGST, 9% SGST, and paid the same to the government. Now see the person, Mr. B. Now Mr. B already paid tax while purchasing goods from Mr. A. Yes, that is input tax. Now after that, Mr. B is supplying that thing to Mr. C. He's adding some value and now further supplying it to Mr. C. Now what he's going to do? He's going to collect tax from Mr. C. Yes, or Mrs. C. Okay, jo bhi hai wo, Mrs. C. And now after having credit, important word, after taking credit, what he already paid, what he is collecting, after taking credit, the balance amount he is paying to the government. This is a seamless flow of credit. This is called the seamless flow of credit. Yes. So this thing, 1 second. Yes. Now, further again with the IGST, same thing. And yes, manner of utilization of credit. Sir, you highlighted the word credit above. How the credit will be utilized? Say if you have paid CGST, that credit, that paid CGST credit, you can utilize for outward supply. Inward supply you paid CGST. Outward supply you are collecting CGST, IGST or SGST, whatever it may be. But you can utilize your inward supply CGST only against CGST, IGST, not SGST. And the same case with SGST. If inward supply you have paid SGST while collecting and making a credit and paying balance to the government, you can utilize your SGST only towards IGST and SGST, not CGST. And after that, if you have paid IGST, you can utilize this paid IGST credit towards CGST, IGST or SGST. All of them. Yes. Now coming further, see a short table in which we are bifurcating where GST is applicable or not. In case of petroleum and petroleum products like petroleum crude, high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, yes, we have seen these early things. VAT on excise duty is applicable on this, but no GST. No GST. Only VAT CST or excise duty is applicable. And on the same, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, there is VAT CST excise duty but no GST. Yes. Tobacco and tobacco products, there is excise duty as well as GST both. And on the narcotic, drugs, opium, hemp, Indian hemp, other narcotics, there is excise duty as well as GST, but other goods only GST. Now this is the thing. Other goods only GST. A short description of what is applicable on each and every goods. Yes. So here we have finished. Here we have finished the first part of introduction of GST, where many basic thing we have got to learn in this introduction chapter. Yes. Now heading towards definition. Now heading towards definition. Sir, what do you mean by definitions? We are not having definition chapters in our module. We are having definition. We are having definition. Yes. In each and every chapter starting, you are having definition. Yes, you are having definition in each in each and every chapter starting. Yes. But what I have done in this GST Brahmastra, I have gathered all the definition from each and every chapters and placed in one head definition. See, in these 4 pages, you are going to see all the definition which is given in your module in different chapters. In front of that different chapters, we have gathered and put all the definitions under GST on this 4 pages. Yes. So when we are learning definitions, we are going to revise all the definitions in the whole module you are having. First and the foremost definition, goods. Under section 252 of the Act, goods means all kind of movable property. All kind of movable property, including actionable claims, yes, growing crops, grass, things forming part of land agreed to be sold before supply or under a contract of supply, where it excludes money and security. Very easy. Yes, easy definition to learn. What do you mean by goods? Goods means all kind of movable property. Goods means all kind of movable property. Yes, where it includes what? Actionable claims. Yes, everybody know what is actionable claims. Growing crops, not the grown crops, the crops which are growing. Yes, in many cases you are going to find that somewhere persons make an agreement to sell the growing crops, that after 3 months these crops you will take, like this. So growing crops, grass is also sold. Yes, things forming part of land agreed to be sold, like for example in the movie Pushpa, Lal Chandan. Yes, that is the thing. Things forming part of land. It is a part of land. Yes, agreed to be sold in the context supply, but it excludes money and securities. So money and securities are not considered under the definition of. Now this is the definition of goods. Coming further, services. Service is defined under section 2102. It means anything other than goods. Service means anything other than goods. Which is not covered in goods, it will be covered under definition of service. Say for example, what do you mean by goods? All kind of movable property. So what in the case of immovable property then? Any type of, say we are doing a transaction of immovable property. You are supplying immovable property. Then, so in that case, it will be covered under the definition of services. So this is illogical, but what we can do? That is telling that goods are covered. The goods are covering only movable property, no immovable property. The immovable property will be covered under definition of services because it is anything other than goods. Yes. Now, it includes activity relating to use of money or its conversion by cash or by any other mode from one form of currency denomination to another form for which separate consideration is charged. Very easy. Say for example, you are supplying money, you are giving money. Yes, you are giving money. A person A is giving money to person B. In that case, person A is going to charge a separate consideration or permitting the use of money to that another person. Yes. So here it is, money and securities are again excluded from the definition of services also. But anything you are doing for the use of money for which separate consideration is charged. For example, interest on loan. Interest on loan. That is a separate consideration which is charged for the use of money or its conversion from one form to another. It's conversion from one form to another, say either converted in cash or from one currency to another, like this thing. You are converting dollar to rupees, rupees to dollar, and there is conversion charges, separate consideration is charged. Conversion charges are the separate consideration is charged. So that thing will be covered under the definition of service. Under the definition of service. Again, securities are not defined service. No, they are not defined under the term service, but facilities or arranging transaction in securities. Say selling your securities, brokerage charges are there. Yes, facilitating or arranging transaction in securities are covered under the definition of service. So these are the definition of goods and services in front of you, which are the most important definition in the whole chapter of definitions. Now, regarding this definition, I want to tell you one more thing. Say, for example, goods and services which are defined under the GST Act. But one thing is there, we have learned earlier in article number 36612A that GST can be levied on supply of goods and services. There are three terms. First, supply. Second, goods. And the third, services. If anything is defined by these three things, then only GST will be leviable, otherwise no. So these are the checkpoints. First, check that it is a supply, that we are going to learn under section 7. After that, check that the particular thing is being defined under the term goods or services, then only GST will be leviable, otherwise not. So that's why this two definition of goods and services is important under GST. Now, coming towards the next definition, business. Yes, business. Now, what do you mean by the term business under GST? Now, what do you mean by the term business? Now, under GST, business is defined under section 217. Business is defined under section 217. Now, see here, clause A, B, C, then D, E is there. Yes, upward E is there. F, G, N, H, and I. These are the clauses. These are the clauses which make the term, which makes the term business. Now here, see here, as of clause A. Business means clause A, any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, vocation, adventure, wager, any other similar activity, whether or not for a pecuniary benefit. Whether or not for a pecuniary benefit. Pecuniary benefit means profit. Any type of such activity, either it is there for profit or not, it will be termed under the word business. Clause B, any activity transaction in connection with, incidental to, ancillary to, subclause A above. It means any activity which is in connection with, incidental, ancillary to these activities, that will be termed as business. After that, clause C, any activity or transaction in the nature of A above. In the nature of A above, whatever will be the volume, frequency, continuity, regularity. Say you are trading, in cotton for the month of January, February, and March, and after that, the whole year you are not doing anything. So whatever will be the regularity, whatever will be the volume, either wholesale, retail, like this, whatever will be the frequency, it will be termed as this. You cannot say that I have say I have not regularly doing this. Once in a lifetime I have did the trading in cotton. No, like this. Whatever will be the regularity, volume, frequency, continuity, this will be termed as business. After that, the supply or acquisition of goods, including capital assets, services in connection with commencement closure of business. See, any supply or acquisition of goods you have made with commencement or closure of business, that will be termed under the word business. Yes, that will be termed as business. After that, provision of service or anything by a club, association, society, such body of the facility or benefits to its members. See, any club, association, society, or any body providing any facilities to their members, it will be termed as business. This transaction will be termed as business. After that, admission for a consideration of person to any premises. For example, movie tickets. Yes, you are paying consideration for admission of a person to a premises. So it will be termed as business. After that, services supplied by a person as a holder of an office. Yes, as the holder of an office has been accepted by in the course of furtherance of his trade, profession, vocation. See, using your degree, trade, profession, vocation, you have hold an office, like a person like a director holding office. So that services will be termed as business. Activities of a race club, including by way of totalizer or licensed bookmaker, or activities of a licensed bookmaker will be termed under business. Yes, and activities of central government, state government, local authority, and public authorities is also termed under the word business. This is also business. Yes. So all these clause A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I, not JKLM, but up to I, these all clauses are termed under one word business. Anything you are doing from this clause, it means you are doing business. So where there is this word anywhere in the act of GST, business means this all activity. Now, definition of a person, section 284. Person means what? Person may be an individual, company, HUF, firm, artificial judicial person, limited liability partnership, cooperative society, association of person, society defined under the Societies Act. Yes, any say corporation like central government, state government, or provincial corporation, any body corporate, yes, central government, state government, local authority, all are termed as person. So anywhere in the act you are having a term person. In the act, anywhere you are hearing a term person, that person means all this. Yes, collective meaning of all this is person. Now, coming further, consideration. Coming further toward the word consideration. So, what do you mean by consideration under the yes? Section 231, consideration. Section number 231, consideration. Now, what it means? Consideration means any payment made or to be made whether in money or otherwise. Any payment made or to be made whether in money or otherwise. Yes. Plus any monetary benefit value of any act or forbearance. Any monetary value of any act or forbearance which is made in respect of, in response to, for the inducement of supply of goods or services. This is the meaning of word consideration, but it does not include any subsidy given by the government or any deposit given unless such supplier applies such deposit as consideration. So this is meaning of the word consideration, where there is any payment made or to be made whether in money or otherwise. Yes, whether in money or otherwise. Any monetary value of any act or forbearance. Yes, you have done any act, so monetary value of that act or forbearance in respect response to or inducement of supply of goods or services. You have done all these things. You have made any payment or monetary value of any act or forbearance. You have done for the supply of goods or services. It means these things are in return of this thing. So it will be termed as, which does not include subsidy and deposit by the person. Yes. Now territory. Oh, India. Now what do you mean by territory under the GST Act? Territory means territory defined of India under Article number 1 of the Constitution. Yes. It also includes territorial waters, seabed, subsoil underlying such water content shelf, exclusive economic zone or any other maritime zone, airspace above the territory and territorial waters. All will be termed as India under section 256. Yes, you can have a look on the image, what it means: territorial, sea, water, land, contiguous zone, exclusive economic zone, yes, etc. Now, supplier. Supplier section 2105. Supplier section 2105. Now, what do you mean by the term supplier? Yes, supplier in relation to any goods or services or both shall mean a person supplying the same goods or any person on behalf of that particular supplier. Yes, either the supplier himself or any agent supplying on behalf of that person. Again, the same meaning recipient is carrying. Recipient means the person receiving the supply or any agent on behalf of that recipient receiving the supply. Now the recipient can be defined under the cases like if consideration is payable. If you are receiving supply and you are paying consideration for that supply, then the person liable to pay consideration will be the recipient. Yes, but if there is no consideration, so in case of goods and services, who will be the recipient? The person who received that goods. The person who has received that goods. The person to whom you have delivered, that person will be the recipient. And in case of supplier service, the person to whom the service is rendered. Yes, this will be the definition of recipient and supplier. Yes, again, many more definitions are there. What do you mean by reverse charge? This I am going to define in the chapter of reverse charge itself. Yes, we'll see there. Non-taxable supply in which there is no tax. Electronic commerce operator means Amazon, Flipkart, Ola, Uber, like these things. Family, yes. This definition we are going to carry here itself. What do you mean by family under the GST? Family means spouse, children of that person, and parents, grandparents, brother, sister of a person wholly or mainly dependent on the said person. Yes, wholly or mainly dependent on the said person. Yes, I am assuming this. Spouse, children of that person, parents, grandparents, brother, sister of the person who are wholly or mainly dependent on that person. This is termed as family under the. Now, agent. Agent means any broker, commission basis agent, Artia factor, yes, all Del Credit agent, every agent who is working on commission is termed under this word agent. Conveyance. Conveyance means vessel, aircraft, vehicle. In the whole act where you are going to find this term conveyance, this carries the meaning of vessel, aircraft and vehicle. Principal, yes, on whose behalf agent is working. Associated enterprise, yes, who is one enterprise relating to another enterprise, it is an associate enterprise. Common portal means the GST website. Council, GST council, we had this meaning. Now this meaning of location of supply. Here are the terms LOS, LOR, location of supplier, location of recipient. Now, what do you mean by the term location of supplier, location of recipient? Yes, first, in case of goods, location of supplier in case of goods. Now here, location of supplier in case of goods is not defined under the law, but some common meaning is there of this term. That is, location of supplier is where the business is ordinarily carried on or where the goods themselves are located. That will be the location of supplier of goods. Loss of goods where the business is ordinarily located, carried on, or goods themselves are located. This will be the term. Now, in case of services, either it is LOS of services or LOR of services. That is location of supplier of service or location of recipient of service. This will have a meaning in the same way, like this. Say, supply made from or supplied received at. When we are in the angle of supplier, we'll talk about this. But when we are seeing this thing from the angle of recipient, we'll talk about this. Yes. Now, see where the supplier has made supply from or received at place of business. Place of business. Either supply is being made from place of business, then location of that particular supplier, or when the supply is received on the place of business, the location of the particular recipient will be the location of the place of business. Will be the location of the place of business. Or in case of any fixed establishment, where the supply is made from such fixed establishment or the supply is received on such fixed establishment, in that case LOS or LOR will be the location of such fixed establishment. Or where this thing is being done from more than one establishment, not at one place, many places, then for each such place the location will be different. Now this is the thing. Sir, what do you mean by fixed establishment? Yes, any other establishment of that particular person? Yes, fixed establishment means a place other than the place of business, where say the person is carrying on the business. Place of business is the business place where the person is carrying on the business in the ordinary course. Yes, or any store, warehouse, like these things. Okay, where the goods are being stored. Yes, like these things. Not such more important definition. Now continuous journey. Continuous journey means continuous journey. No break journey. Sitting from one place to getting out at another place. Source and destination. No break journey is there. So you have seated from Mumbai, you have to travel to Delhi, you are traveling in a single train. No break journey is there. Like from example, Mumbai to Nagpur, you have traveled, and from Nagpur you are joining another train. No, that is not continuous journey. Continuous journey, one place is the source, another will be your destination. Yes, and in a single conveyance. Now, see the definitions which are in the ITC chapter. The definitions which are in the ITC chapter. Inward supply. Inward supply in relation to a person shall mean recipient of receipt of goods. Inward supply means what you have got, what you have received. Yes, inward supply, what you have received. Input means that other than capital goods, any type of input you are using in the course or furtherance of your business. Yes, input service. Yes, services you are using in the course of furtherance of service. Yes, any input service you are using to make your output supply. Yes, input tax credit. Input tax credit means any type of tax paid on this inputs of which you are going to get the credit, that is called as input tax credit. Now capital goods. Capital goods mean any machinery or capital goods, yes, which are being capitalized in the books of account, you have used in the course of furtherance of business. Now input tax you have paid on the input services and capital goods. But output tax means the tax you are going to collect from the recipient of the goods for the supply you have made outward. It means output tax is the tax on outward supply and input tax is the tax on inward supply. Yes, so this is all about the supply ITC chapter definitions. Now electronic cash ledger, trade ledger. This in more detail I am going to make you understand the payment of tax chapter. Tax period means for the period you are paying tax, that is the tax period. Zero rated supply. Yes, zero rated supply means either export of goods or services or both, or supply of goods or services or both to a SEZ developer or SEZ unit. Both the supply are called as zero rated supply. First, export of goods or services or supply of goods or services to a SEZ developer or SEZ unit. Works contract. Yes, this again I am going to explain further, as this is the revision. I am not going to explain here, and again in the concepts I am going to directly revise it in the concepts. Continuous supply of goods, continuous supply of service, Continuous supply of goods means you are making a continuous supply of goods. Say for example, milkman. The milkman daily basis comes on a defined time to your home and gives you the milk. Yes. So that is a continuous supply of goods. And continuous supply service like the postpaid card, SIM card. Continuously you are paying the bills. Every month you are paying the bills, and every month they are providing you the services. GSTP, again I am going to delve with this word in the end returns chapter. Yes. Now aggregate turnover. Now the term aggregate turnover. See here, the aggregate turnover is defined uh, is defined comparing the whole act. Comparing the whole act. What will be the meaning of the term aggregate turnover in the whole act? Wherever this term will come, aggregate turnover, it means this. What it means? Aggregate turnover equals to all taxable supplies made by on or behalf of others plus exempt supplies. Exempt supply includes nil rate, wholly exempt, non-taxable, plus export supplies, plus interstate supplies, but exclude inward supplies in RCM and taxes in GST. So the taxes in GST are not covered under aggregate turnover. If you want to calculate aggregate turnover, you have to exclude this part. If it is inclusive of GST, you have to exclude the part of taxes in GST from that particular value. Yes. And also inward supplies in RCM are not covered here. Yes, inward supply and RCM are not covered here. Yes. And else all the terms will be added and it will be aggregate turnover. Yes, it will be aggregate turnover. And the last definition, business correspondent. Yes, last definition, business correspondent, business facilitator. Yes, what do you mean by this term? This term means a person particularly helping the villagers to open bank account and provide banking services to them in a village. Say it is not beneficial for a particular bank to open their branches in a village where there is less population, because it will not generate revenue. Other it will demand expenses of maintenance and all, and your expenses will be more than your revenue. So it is not feasible for that particular bank to open branch here in that village. But they have to provide their banking service. They have to provide their banking services. For that purpose, they appoint the business correspondent or business facilitator to uh, arrange banking services for the villagers in a particular small place, where say in a particular room of their house itself, a particular person is going to connect all the system and all the things and provide banking services to the person living in the village. That person is called as business correspondent, business facilitator. So here, like this, we have completed the introduction part and the part of definitions. Now we are going to learn the term, important term under the act, that is supply. That is supply after a short break. Yes, let's take a break, and after that we are going to go further with the term supply. यस, तो चलो वापस आ गए हम, अब स्टार्ट करते हैं सप्लाई। यस, लेट अस स्टार्ट द टॉपिक सप्लाई अंडर जीएसटी। This term, as I already told you under article number 366, that this term is the most important term under GST because it is the taxable event under GST. It is the taxable event under GST. Taxable event, that is supply. If supply is made, then there will be a taxable event, but another terms, goods and services. So these three terms are important. Goods and services already studied. Now we are going to learn supply under GST. Yes. Now, the term supply is defined under section 7. Yes, section 7 has how many parts? 7.1, 7.1a, 7.2 and 7.3. These are the parts of section number 7. Among these, section number 7.1 tells us about what supply includes. 7.1a, some clarification. 7.2, what supply excludes, and 7.3, the residual section. Now, coming towards section 7.1. Again, section number 7.1 has small parts. 7.1 small a, small a, small b, and small c. In this, we are studying first 7.1a. Yes, the basic and the most important definition of supply. Supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both. Supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both. First thing, supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both, such as sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease, disposal, which is made or agreed to be made for consideration by a person in the course or furtherance of business. If this all elements are present, then it will be termed as supply, otherwise not. Any one element is absent, then this will not be a supply. Again telling the definition. Supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both, such as sale, transfer, barter, exchange, lease, rental, disposal, etc., made or agreed to be made for consideration by a person in the course or furtherance of business, then it will be termed as supply, otherwise not. Now, studying some terms like consideration. So, sir, it means that if along with all terms consideration is present, then it will be termed as supply. But if consideration is not present, then of course it will be not a supply. But before arriving to this decision, you should check first if there is no consideration. Check whether the particular transaction is covered by section 7.1c. If that particular transaction is covered by section 7.1c, it will be deemed supply. If that transaction is not covered by section 7.1c, not a supply. Very clear. It means if there is consideration, yes, it will be supply. If no consideration, first and foremost, one second. Yes, again telling yes. If there is consideration, it will be a supply. If there is no consideration, first go and check 7.1c. If it is covered there, it will be a deemed supply. Otherwise, it will not be a supply. And the same case with the last one, in the course or furtherance of business. In this thing, if it is in the course or furtherance of business along with all other elements, then it is a supply. Otherwise, if there is not in the course or furtherance of business, first go and check 7.1b. If it is covered there, it is a supply. Otherwise, it is not a. Yes. So this is the major and the basic definition of. You should learn as it is. Yes. Very easily, I made partitions in the definition so that you can learn it easily. Now, coming towards 7.1 small a. Yes. This definition was, supply definition was in 7.1 small a. Now we are studying 7.1 small a. Yes. Now, what it tells. It tells a clarification and explanation about what should be the treatment for the activities or transaction by a person other than individual to its members or constituents or vice versa for cash, deferred payment, other valuable consideration. Now, here they are asking us, like they are asking the question that what should be the treatment of such type of activities, and there is an explanation under 71AA that such activities shall be treated as supply. Yes, these activities will be treated as supply. Yes, either any person other than individual. See, no individuals, okay? Any person other than individual supplying any form of activities or transaction to its members or constituents for cash or deferred payments, then only it will be termed as supply, otherwise no. Yes, that is the clarification, explanation on the section 71AA. Now, 71 small b. 71 small b, it is importation of service. Sir, 71 small b. Just now we have seen this section somewhere, yes, below in the definition. If not in the course of furtherance of business, check it is covered in 71B. If it is covered in 71B, then it will be a supply, otherwise not a supply. Now, what is covered in 71B? Importation of service. For consideration, there should be consideration whether or not in the course of furtherance of business. If it is in the course of furtherance of business, no doubt it will be a supply. But along with consideration, if it is not in the course of furtherance of business, then only one service they have covered, that is importation of service. Sir, importation of goods, that will be covered under the customs. Here in GST they have covered service importation. Yes. So seeing this thing, if services are imported, yes, services are imported other than business, for the purpose other than business, by any charitable institution, individual or government, means CIG. CIG. If any type of services other than business are imported by this three person, then it will be exempt. No doubt it will be supply. Yes, it has passed the definition of supply. It is supply. After passing the definition of supply, now we are making a decision whether to treat it as an exempt or taxable. So if this type of service, which type of service? 71 small b, that is importation of services. That is importation of services for consideration. Okay, whether or not in the course of furtherance of business is imported by CIG, CIG, then exempt. Other taxable. Other taxable. Now this is the thing. Yes, 71 small b. 71 small b. Now coming further to 71 small c. Yes, coming further to 71 small c. Now see this 71 small c, activities specified in schedule 1. Oh, sir, first schedule. Yes, 71 small c, it is the activity specified in schedule 1, made or agreed to be made without consideration. Again 71c we have seen here, no consideration. Check whether it is covered under 71c. If it is covered under 71c, then it will be deemed supply. So what is covered under 71c? Schedule 1 is covered under 71c. In schedule 1 there are specified activities where though there is no consideration, but you have to treat it as a deemed supply. Yes, you have to treat it as a deemed supply. So again schedule 1 we are going to cover further. Yes. Now 7.1 capital A. Now the 7.1 is completed. Okay, what were there in 7.1? Yes, let us revise. 7.1 small a, 7.1 small double a, yes, 7.1 small b, 7.1 small c. Now we are going towards 7.1 capital A. Yes, altogether different section. Okay, subsection. Altogether different subsection where certain activities or transaction constitute as a supply in accordance with the provisions of this section 1 we have studied. They shall be treated either as SOG or SOS. Sir, SOG, yes, I will tell you in schedule 2. Now section 7.1 capital A talks about classification. Now, according to 7.1, it is supply. Now, whether it is supply of goods or services, this classification will be done by 7.1 capital A under Schedule 2. So under Schedule 2, there are many activities which are classified on which confusion is there. Either T-test or supply of goods or supply of service. So to write off that confusions, section 7.1 capital A has been implemented with Schedule 2, which clarifies in which situation to treat that particular activity as a supply of goods or as a supply of service. Now, next subsection 7.2 supply exclude. It means it does not include, supply definition does not include these two things. That is section 7.2a, which is termed as activities transactions specified in Schedule 3. Now, Schedule 1. Schedule 1 what? Sir, Schedule 1 covered in section 7.1 small c. Schedule 2 covered in section 7.1 capital A. Now, Schedule 3 covered in section 7.2 small a. All the activities which are there in Schedule 3 will be excluded from the definition of supply. Yes, they will be excluded from the definition of yes. Now, sir, what are the activities? Yes, this I am going to cover the coming pages. Now, section 7 to small b. Section 7 to small b. Now, see here, what do you mean by section 7 to small b? Activities transaction undertaken by central government, state government, or local authority in which they are engaged as public authorities, as may be notified. Any activities in which central government, state government, or local authorities are engaged as public authorities, that type of activities and transaction are not covered under the definition of supply, which are notified. Up till yet, only two notified. Yes, this one and this one. So first definition, first activity notified services by way of activity in relation to function entrusted to an panchayat under Article 243G of the Constitution or to municipality under Article 243W of the Constitution are treated neither as SOG or SOS. C. Where panchayat and municipality are acting as a public authority and they are doing their activities which are given to them and entrusted to them under Article 243G or 243W will not be considered as SOG or SOS. This will be the thing. After that, second notification, services by way of grant of alcoholic liquor license by the state government are treated neither as SOG nor SOS. See, government work as a license giver in many things, many goods. But among that all, if state government are giving license of alcoholic liquor, yes, granting of alcoholic liquor license by state government is not treated as SOG or SOS. Yes, they will not be treated as SOG or SOS. Other license given by the government, yes, all will be taxable, but under reverse charge. That we are going to see further in the reverse charge chapter. So this is all about section 7.2. Now 7.3. Yes, 7.3 residual section, that government by notification can make any type of activity or transaction to be treated as neither supply of goods or services or to be treated as supply of goods or services. Yes, so that is the thing. Now, this is all together the definition of supply under the Act. Section 7.1 supply includes, section 7.1a schedule 2, section 7.2 supply excludes, and section 3 residual. Now, coming towards the remaining parts under the definition that I told you we are going to cover further in the coming pages. First one, schedule 1, activities without consideration. Schedule 1, activities without consideration. Now here, see, as I have told you in the above chart, schedule 1 is covered under section 7.1 small c. It means activities without consideration but treated as deemed supply. We know, sir, if there is consideration, then only treat that supply along with other elements present. But if there is no consideration along with other elements present, it will not be a supply. But before coming to the judgment, refer 7.1c. And 7.1c talks about. Now, in Schedule 1, there are 4 types of activities. See, Para 1, Para 3, Para 4. There are 4 types of activities: Para 1, Para 2, Para 3, Para 4. Yes. And this 4 type of activities, are all without consideration but deemed supply. Sir, any activity without consideration other than these 4 activities, not a supply. Because under Schedule 2, only 4 activities are mentioned. Let us see this. Yes, let us see this. Yes. Again, starting with the first one. Permanent transfer or disposal of business asset where ITC has been availed on such asset. Very clear, very clear. Yes, we are revising the thing, so I'm going to revise it. Permanent transfer, disposal or business asset. Sir, business asset. There should be a business asset, and you are what you are doing permanently. You are transferring permanently, not keeping any authority or ownership under your name. Permanently transferring the disposal of business asset and such asset on which ITC has been availed. Such asset on which you have availed ITC, in that case, this activity, though without consideration, it will be termed as a supply, deemed supply. Now, for example, you are a laptop manufacturer, yes, company, you are manufacturing many laptops. So, say you have manufactured 100 laptops. Out of 100 laptops, 90 you sold for consideration, and 10 laptops you distributed it among to your workers, employees, officials, managers, like this. So the 10 you distributed, 90 you sold. The 90 you sold is supply. Yes, because consideration is received against that 90 laptops sold. But what about this 10? No consideration. Now check whether it is covered under Schedule 1. Now tell me the first thing, whether the 10 laptops that you are distributing among your employees and the workers, managers, officials is permanent transfer? Yes. You are permanently giving your laptops to them. Now, is that laptop your business asset? Yes. So, sir, there is permanent transfer also, business asset also. Now, check whether when you are receiving the raw materials and inputs to make this business asset, on that you have paid tax 100%. Yes. On the components that you have received as an input to make this laptop, manufacture this laptop, you have availed ITC. If you have availed ITC, then this remaining 10 laptops that you have distributed without consideration to your employees, that will be considered as deemed supply, and accordingly GST will be calculated on this 10 outward supply of laptops. So this is an example on which para 1 is applicable. Now para 2. Supply of goods or services or both between related person or distinct person as specified in section 25 when made in the course or furtherance of C. Though without consideration, because you are making any type of supply between the related person or distinct person. Yes, related person or distinct person. So the definition of related person, distinct person is given below. Yes, first check what do you mean by related person under the act. Yes, related person under the act. Now, related person means such person are officer, directors of one another's business. Either, yes, they are called as related person. Yes, if say such person are officer, director of one another's business. You are officer, director of a same business. Director number 1, director number 2, related person. Such person are employer, employee. They are also related person, defined as related person under the act, but there is one exception, that providing gifts not exceeding 50,000 rupees in value in a financial year by employer to employee shall not be treated as supply of goods or services or both. Say, though they are defined under the definition of related person, but one exemption is given to them from this value exemption. We can tell it as that if any employer gives to their employee anything of which value is not exceeding 50,000 rupees in the financial year, then that transaction will not be treated as supply. Though it is covered under definition of related person, and para 2 will exempt that activity from the definition of D. Yes. Again, after that, such person are legally recognized partners. Yes, partners of a partnership firm, they are related person. Sir, such person are members of the same family. Oh, sir, what is family? Family includes what? Hula. Sir, in the definition chapter, right now only before the break we learned, but after the break we forgot. No, revise it. Revise it. You should remember, because any type of 1 mark MCQ question also on this point, you will lose your marks. So remember the definition also, remember the concept also, revise it again and again to make you remember the concept. Now, what is the definition of family? Sir, family means spouse, children, and grandparents, parents, brother, sister, wholly and mainly dependent. Wholly or mainly dependent on that particular person is the definition of family, and that family definition is covered under the term related. It is covered under the term related person. Now, coming further, one of them or a third person controls directly both of them, means holding company, subsidiary company, like these points are there here itself. Yes, agent and principal again. Yes, and the last one, third person controls, holds directly more than equal to 25% of the voting stock shares of both of them. Yes, if any person is having more than 25% of voting stocks and shares of any, say, partnership firm, company, etc., etc., then they are related person. Now, this is the definition of related person. If you are a related person, any type of supply between related person, though without consideration, it will be deemed. Yes. Again, second term, distinct person. Now, sir, what do you mean by the term distinct person? A person who has obtained is required to obtain more than one registration, whether in one state, union, territory, or more than one state, union, territory, shall in respect of such registration, each registration treated as distinct person. Now, see the definition. What the definition is. Sir, for example, the head office is registered in Delhi, but you are having a branch in West Bengal, and your branch is registered in West Bengal. So on the same pen, you are doing the business on the same pen, but different registration is there. For West Bengal branch, different registration. For head office, different registration. This 2% will be distinct person. These two persons will be distinct person, and any transaction between this person without consideration will be termed as D. Another definition continuing further, distinct person, where a person who has obtained or is required to obtain registration in a state, union, territory in respect of an establishment has an establishment in another state, union, territory, then such establishment shall be treated as establishment of distinct person. Now see, for example, your restaurant is registered in Maharashtra and you are having a liquor shop unregistered or registered in Uttarakhand. Then this is the establishment of distinct person, which is covered under the definition itself. Yes. And after that, the last one, stock transfer. Yes. Sir, what do you mean by stock transfer? See, for example, stock transfer means transferring your stock from one place to another. So now this is without consideration. Say for example, from my factory outlet to my showroom, if the goods are transporting, it is a stock transfer. Then why to consider it a supply? So clarification is there, in which case you should not consider it a supply or consider it as a supply. Now see the first thing. For example, you are having your factory. Yes, you are say cloth manufacturer, and you are having your factory which is registered under Lucknow, and your showroom is in Kanpur, Now stocks are being transferred from your factory to the, now check that single registration is there. See, if there is single registration, then it will not be a supply. Whether you are supplying goods from your factory to the showroom, if there is single registration, it will. But if registrations are different, registered under Lucknow, registered in Delhi, two separate registration, and now you are transferring your stock from your factory to the showroom, then in this case it will be a deemed. So this is how stock transfers can be treated as a deemed supply. If same registration is there, not a deemed supply. If separate registration is there, then deemed. The stock transfer will be as a supply. Now this is all about para 2. This is all about para 2. Yes. Now para 3. Supply of goods by principal to his agent, where the agent undertakes to supply such goods on behalf of principal, or by an agent to his principal, where the agent undertakes to receive. There are two things: sale or purchase. But we are talking about supply of goods. We are not talking about the agency services the agent is providing. We are talking about how the supply of goods between the principal and the agent will be treated as supply or not. So in case of sale also, the goods are supplied from principal to agent and to the customer. In case of purchase also, the supply is like from the buyer, seller to the agent to the principal. Now what we are going to do, we are going to study it in a proper form. Pack, sir, pack. We remember the game pack. Now P for not parrot, principal. A for not apple, agent. C for not cat, it is the customer. See how the flow will go. Now, say for example, your principal will supply goods to the agent, and the agent will supply these goods to the customer. Who is appearing before the customer? Agent. So your agent is going to supply the goods. Now check whether the customer is having the invoice in the principal's name or agent's name. The customer is having an invoice in the name of principal, not a supplier, in the name of agent. More properly, I am going to explain you. Say, sir, supply of goods from principal to agent. Supply of goods from agent to customer. One more thing, sir. Supply of service from agent to principal. This is the agency service agent is giving to principal, for which he is going to receive commission. Now, see the magic. Sir, this goods is a supply. Definitely, because here customer is going to give consideration to the agent for the supply of goods. Yes, and directly it will be going to the principal. Now, sir, this will be supply. Yes, this will be supply because agent is receiving commission for such supply of agency service. Now, this will be supply. This will be supply. This will be supply. A question mark. Think on it. So here, principal is sending goods to agent, but in return, agent is not giving any consideration. Consideration will be directly received by the principal from the customer on the at the time of its actual sale by the agent. At that time, customer is going to directly pay to the principal. But what about this supply between principal and agent? We are we are discussing about this only in para 3, not about this, not about this. We are discussing only about this. We are discussing only about this, whether this will be a supply or not. This thing will be supply if on the invoice there is the name of the agent. It means agent is giving invoice to the customer in his own name. In that case, it will be a supply. But what if the agent is giving to the customer invoice in the name of principal? Then it will be, he is giving invoice in the name of the principal, it will not be a supply. But if he is giving invoice in the name of agent himself, yes, then it will be a supply. Yes, this is all about para 3 clarification. Though there is no consideration, at what time we should consider it as a supply. Yes. 1 minute. Yes. So this is all about para 3. Now there is further some clarification regarding del credit agent. Sir, what do you mean by del credit agent? Now, first of all, sorry, we should define the term del credit agent. See, I will explain you instead of reading the whole paragraph. See, what do you mean by del credit agent? Sometimes what happens, for example, if a principal is directly selling to a agent to the customer some goods for which he is receiving the consideration at the same time, when the transaction of supply of goods taken place, at the time he is receiving the consideration, then there is no issue, all things are on safer side, no issue. But what if principal is allowing to sell the goods on credit? Think on it. Agent knows the customer, principal doesn't know the customer at all. He only knows the agent. He doesn't know the customer, who is the customer, how is the customer, all things agent knows. And principal only knows the agent. Now, in such case, if customer is saying that I will purchase the goods on credit, then whom that principal will believe? Whose words that principal will believe? Of course, agent. The principal is going to believe only on the words of agent. The agent is saying to the principal, sir, we can sell him the goods on credit, no issue, he will pay. Principal, whom I should trust? What if that person, that customer doesn't pay, then who will pay me the amount? Now the agent says that, sir, if that customer doesn't pay, I will pay you them. If that customer doesn't pay, I will pay you them. Now what that agent is doing is guaranteeing the payment. He is guaranteeing the payment from that customer to the principal. And on that terms, principal allows the agent to make the supply, and within a say either what the agent will do. There are two things the agent can do. See, if for example here, for example, if the principal allows the agent, no problem, you can go. So the agent has two. One second. So the agent has two methods. Either first one, to allow the credit, say the first one, what the agent can do, allow the credit, okay, allow the credit, and after 2 months, say it is a 2 months credit period. So after 2 months, he will receive money from the customer. Very good, sir. The customer after 2 months gives money to the agent will give that money to the principal. But what if after 2 months the customer doesn't pay to the agent? Now what the agent will say to the principal is not paying, and he will pay. No. After 2 months, whether the customer is going to pay or not, agent will have to compulsorily pay the amount. Agent will have to compulsorily pay the amount to the principal, because agent have taken guarantee of that customer. Way one. Second way, another way, what agent can do? Pay now and recover. Pay now and recover. The second way agent can follow is to pay now. At the time of supply itself, make the payment from the pocket of agent to the principal. The agent will pay from his own pocket to the principal, and later on, after 2 months, he will recover from the customer. Now in that case, he is what he is doing. Now the agent is providing loan services, or we can say that credit facility to the customer. Now the agent is providing credit facility to the customer, and for this I think agent will charge to the customer as an interest, as considered. So this is all about the thing, and such type of person who takes more risk as compared to the normal agent, will, I think, will be called as credit agent. And for this risk is going to be paid higher as compared to normal agent. Say for example, for normal agent, if the commission is say 6%, then for this person it will be 10%, because he is guaranteeing the payment. Yes, this is all about del credit agent, and there are some clarification around here, some in a summarized way. Del credit agent is not an agent under para 3, or is an agent under para 3. When can we say that he is not an agent or he is agent? Because if that del credit agent is an agent under para 3, then only it will be supply, other it will not a supply. So in short, this is not a supply, but this is a supply. This is not a supply, but this is a supply. Now see here, when it will not be a supply. Now seeing this thing, sir, this is a supply by principal to customer. Okay, see, first of all, read the line. Del credit agent is not agent under para 3. When the person will be not an agent under para 3? When invoice is having the principals, he will not be a agent under para 3. Because if invoice is having a agent's name, it will be a supply under para 3. So when can you say that agent is not covered under para 3? When this case is happening. If this case is happening, agent is an agent under para 3. Agent is covered under para 3. So we are discussing the first case, this one, when agent is not an agent under para 3. It means principal is supplying to the customer, SOG, supply of agency service by DCA, yes, extension of credit by DCA to customer. What I told you, remember, here I have written the words credit facility. Now this service is there. So there will be only these three types of service which will be termed as supply, and the service supply will be termed as supply, and the supply of goods from principal to agent will not be termed as a supply because on the invoice there is the principal's name. Now, second, DCA is an agent under para 3. Yes, DCA is an agent under para 3. If it is an agent under para 3, it means on the invoice there is agent's name. Agent's name. Yes. Now, if this is the thing, then there are 4 types of supply: SOG by principal to DCA, SOG by DCA to customer. Yes. Supply of agency services by DCA, agency services to the principal, and extension of credit by DCA to customer. Yes, this is the thing, and I think for marathon this thing is enough. We cannot go through each and everything in a detail because we are having a time limit also to cover all the things. Now, second thing. Oh no, one. Para 4 is pending. No, yes. Para import of services. Now, the fourth activity, import of services by a person from a related person or from any of his own establishment. Yes, import of services by a person from a related person or from any own establishment outside India in the course of business of business. So, this thing we have already learned, no? Yes, I will make you one thing clear here. We have learned that import of service for consideration, not in the course of furtherance of business. Here what we are learning, import of service in the course of furtherance of business, not for consideration or without consideration. So that is the basic difference between these two things. These are 7, 1b, and this thing is para 4. Yes, these two things are different, and the difference I already told you right now itself. So this fourth activity will be covered. This all will be termed as deemed supply. Yes, under G. Now one thing, if anybody wants this material, GST Brahmastra material, from which we are conducting this marathon, or from which I conduct generally the fast track series, and this material I also conduct the 1 day before series from this material itself, which can help you to learn and revise the whole content of GST conceptually before 1 day of the examination. So if anybody is willing to have this material, you can click on the link in the description and have this material. Yes. Now, schedule 2. Sir, schedule 2, it means 7.1 capital A. Now what it does, schedule 2, it is a clarification. It is a clarification in which you clarify whether it is SOG or SOS. A particular transaction activity is SOG or SOS. We are going to clarify this thing. Yes. Now, schedule 2, activities transaction which has been classified either as supply of service or supply of goods. Now, under this we are going to learn 6 paras, as it is schedule 1 4 paras, schedule 2 6 paras. Now see para number 1, transfer. Now, in case of transfer, where you should consider it as an SOG or SOS. Say if there is transfer of title, it is SOG. Yes. When there is transfer of rights, it is SOS. If we have transferred the title itself, we have given the ownership itself, it is SOG. But the ownership is with you, but you are allowing that person, you are giving the rights to that person to use that particular goods, it will be SOS. Yes, it will be. Now para 2, land and building. In case of land and building, earlier while explaining you the definition of services, at that time I told you that immovable property are covered under definition of service. So again, anything contained with the immovable property will be service. Either you are renting, giving on lease, tenancy, anything you are doing for a immovable property, it will be service. Now para 3, treatment or process. This thing I called as job work. Now, there are 2 terms under GST. One is job work and other is works contract. One is job work and other is works contract. So what do you mean by job work and what do you mean by works contract? What do you mean by job work and what do you mean by works contract. Now, see, under job work, what is there under job work? In case of job work, a particular person will say provide you services on movable goods. Yes, movable property. That person is going to provide you services on movable property. That is called as job work, treatment or process. But in case of immovable property, the same thing will be called as works contract. Yes. So here treatment and process. Say for example, you have purchased plywood and given plywood to a particular person. Please make the decks and benches and give it to me. Now that person is making the decks and benches and giving to you. It is called a job work, treatment or process on a particular thing. It is called as supply of service. The person is supplying you the service to convert your raw materials into finished goods. Yes. Now, para 4, transfer of business asset. Transfer of business asset. Yes. For example, you are having a bike showroom. Yes, you are having a bike showroom. Now, you have transferred or disposed of. Means you have completely given the ownership to a particular person for consideration. It will be supply of goods. Yes, it will be a supply of goods. But in case that business asset is put to private use, say you are having your own showroom, you liked one model of motor vehicle, so you took that for one day. Now you are riding the motor vehicle. Now what is that? Supply of service. Either you have given that motor vehicle to your friend for 1 day, 2 days like this and charging them, then it will be a supply of service. So like this, we have completed 4 paras. Enough, important one. Now, para 5. Now, para 5. Para 5 have many, say, clauses. Clause A, B, C, D, E, I think, F, up to F. Okay. First clause, renting of immovable property. Renting of immovable property. Now, what is the thing? Renting of immovable property. One second. Yes. Renting of immovable property. Any immovable property you are giving on rent, it will be supply of service, not supply of goods. After that, construction or complex or civil structure, say any builder who constructs the property and giving individual units to the customers selling it, so it will be supply of service. Now, sir, when it will be a supply of service? Now see one thing. See this diagram. See, if a particular person is doing work in real estate, is a builder, building the flats and selling it. Now, remember one thing, if that builder has received single rupee also before this date, what is the date? Earlier of completion or first occupancy. Earlier of completion or first occupancy, whichever is earlier. Before that, he have received a single rupee also, then the whole supply will become taxable. Whole supply will become taxable. But what if he have received the total amount after this date? If the total amount is received after this date, then nothing will be taxable. Nothing will be taxable. Yes. Coming further, temporary transfer or permitting use or enjoyment of intellectual property rights. Yes, copyright, patents like this, supply of service. Now, about the softwares, say if it is a customized software and you are making a customized software and selling it, supply of service. If it is a prepacked software, it is a supply of goods like say Northern Antivirus, Quick Hill Antivirus, prepacked software. License to use prepacked software, or if there is any license key to use, means first time you have taken the services, now for renewal you are using the license key, then it will be a supply of service. Yes, agreeing to obligation to refrain from an act, tolerate an act, to do an act. These three things are there. So these three things will be supply service, and this three thing I am going to explain in this clarification right now. And last one, transfer of right to use any goods or purpose for cash, etc. Nothing major is in that. Clarification. Yes. Yes, clarification. Now, see the clarification here. There are two clarification on this topic, supply, what we have understood up till right now in schedule 2. Services provided by an outgoing tenant by way of surrendering the tenancy rights against consideration in the form of a portion of tenancy premium liable to GST. Now let us understand what is tenancy premium. Okay, for example, what used to happen earlier, okay, around 40 years back or 40 years back, what used to happen, say for example, I'm a particular person, I want a property on rent. So I would used to make an agreement. In that agreement, I will I would write that I am going to use the property and going to pay rent only 10 rupees per month. Only 10 rupees per month lifelong. Like this. Because of that only, in today also you are going to see in many places there are rent like 1 BHK flat is on given on rent only on 100 rupees per month. Yes, there are many transaction of this type. Why? This is the reason. Because many years back, when 100 rupees value was very good at that time, it used to be like at the time of say your grandparents, your children. At that time, even 1 paisa was having a value. 1 rupee was also having a value. So at that time, 100 rupees was having too much value. So they made an agreement for that 100 rupees, and that agreement was made for the lifelong. And today also they are having they have to follow the same agreement, and they are giving rent only 100 rupees today also per month. Now there was a system of tenancy premium at that time, that if you are making such type of agreement, you have to pay a major amount as tenancy premium, so that this agreement will be lifelong. Now say for example, according to that agreement, I paid rupees 1 lakh as a tenancy premium and started the agreement. Now over the years, I am thinking that now I've earned sufficient. Now I don't need this place on rent. I should give this place on rent to another person. Now for that, what I can do, what I can do, I can make that person to pay the tenancy. That I have paid the tenancy premium at that time. Now this tenancy premium you pay to me. What I will do, I will surrender my tenancy right and give this rights to you. Now you have to make this payment of property on rent and like this thing. So that is tenancy premium. That is tenancy premium. So the outgoing tenant, me, in that example, surrendering the tenancy rights against consideration in the form of tenancy premium. Now that consideration is liable. Now that consideration, when I am receiving right now, liable. That is the clarification. Now, number 2. Sir, there are certain terms. Obligation to refrain from an act, to tolerate an act, to do an act. There are 3 things. Refrain from, tolerate, to do. Refrain from saying no, I will not do that act. Tolerate, you know the word tolerate, yes. To do an act, making some person to do an act. Yes. When these 3 things we are studying, we should remember the 2 conditions. There must be an express or implied agreement or contract, and consideration must flow in return to this contract or act. Yes, if these 2 conditions are being satisfied, then only in this case you are going to make it as a taxable supply. Otherwise, it will be non-taxable. These 2 conditions are important. Some examples are quoted here. For example, say check dishonors fine. When the check is dishonored, it is you are fine for that check dishonor. So it will be taxable or not. First, check that these 2 conditions are satisfied or not. Check dishonor fine. Why they put this fine? Put this fine in the clause also, because the check should not be dishonored. No, that's why it is like that. They will fine you to dishonor. You dishonor will fine. Like this agreement is there. So there is agreement between the supplier and the receiver that you dishonor the check and then you will fine. Like this. This does not happen. This is a provision made so that this thing should not happen. Like check dishonor should not happen. That's why they have made a provision to find the person who dishonors. It is a sort of say penalty. Yes, it is sort of say fine penalty. In that case, there is no express implied agreement. Is there an agreement? Is there an agreement between the bank and that customer that you dishonor, we will fine? You dishonor, we will fine. No, there is no such agreement express or implied. So the first condition itself failed. So that's why this all transactions which are an example below given here are not taxable. Are not taxable. But late fine and penalty, late fees. Say for example, the windows of examination form are open and you are given a date up to 25th, normal fees, after 25th late fee. Yes. So whether that late fine and penalty will be considered as a supplier. Yes. Again, these two conditions. Sir, check these conditions are satisfied or not. See, whenever you submit the form, there is a checkbox at the last. I agree to the terms and conditions. If you checked in that box, it means you have made an expressed agreement that I agree to your terms and conditions. So though you are filling your form after the date, you are accepting the late fine. You are accepting that I will pay the late fine and penalty because this is my mistake. This is an expressed agreement and consideration is flowing in return of this. That's why it is taxable. The supply. This is a clarification. Yes, I will not go in more details and all. So this is all about para 5. Now para 6. Para 6 talks about two things: works contract. Yes, I explained you right now itself what is works contract, and restaurant catering services. In that case, what is a say supply of goods or supply of service like this. So in that case, works contract case, restaurant catering case, it will be supply of service, not supply of goods, because it is a type of composite supply. And in case of composite supply, we'll going to learn further also, and you also know this because we are under revision batch, that there is a principal and a ancillary supply, and the principal supply is considered as a supply, as it supply of goods or service. This is all about para 2. Now we are going towards para 3. Sorry. Schedule 2 and schedule 3 para. Now, schedule 3, section 7 to 8. Yes, schedule 2. Now see the activities. Now see the activities here itself. Activities, transaction not treated as supply of goods or services. No, excluded from the definition. Excluded from definition itself. There are again 6 para. Again 6 para. Para number 1. Services by an employee to the employer in the course or in relation to employment. In the course or in relation to employment. Now, what you are doing here, you are supplying a service as an employer to the employer, as an employee to the employer. In that case, it will not be covered under definition of supply. Yes, excluded from definition of supply if that thing is done in the course or relation to employment. Yes. Second, services by court, tribunal under any law for the time in force. Para 4, services of funeral, burial, crematorium, mortuary, transportation of the deceased. The person is leaving the world, so let them go without taxes. That's why para 4. Now para 3. Functions performed by the members of parliament, members of state legislature, members of panchayat, members of municipalities, member of other local authorities. Duties performed by any person who holds any post in pursuant to the constitution, like say president. Duties performed by any person as a chairperson, member, director of any body, body established by the central government, state government, local authority who is not deemed as an employee before the commencement of this clause. This para 3, functions of all members and member persons not included in the definition of supply. And after that, para 3, sale of land and building. Sale of land is subject to para 5. Yes, right now we have seen now about of builder, if a single rupee is issued before that date which is earlier of completion or first occupancy. Yes, subject to that para. Sale of land and building is not considered as a supply of goods or service because stamp duty is leviable on that. That is why they are not levying any GST. Yes. After that, para 6, actionable claims other than specified actionable claims. Yes. Which are the actionable claims? Actionable claims are not under the definition of supply, but other than specified. It means this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actionable claims will be considered as a supply, will be included in the definition of supply. Betting, casinos, gambling, horse races, racing, lottery, online money gaming. Online money gaming. These all terms are included in the definition of, not excluded, okay, included in the definition of. Now, clarification on a sales promotion scheme. For example, gifts, not a supply because no consideration is there in return for this free sample and gifts. And another thing that these are not covered under the paras of deemed supply, so it will not be a supply. But buy one get one, it means buy one get one. It means one that you have paid for, it will be a supply, and the another product which is coming free of cost will not be a supply. Not like this. When you are having an offer of buy one get one free, it means you are buying two things at one cost. So both the product will be billed under, it will be given you under the same bill amount. So this will be a supply. Both the products will be considered as a supply. Now this thing not so much important. Now coming towards section 8. Composite supply, mixed supply. Up till now we have studied section number 7. All the schedule 1, 2 and 3 we have done right now. Now section number 8. Yes, before going towards section number 8, I like to tell you a story, a short story. Now this story is of a boy of a very say college life boy, okay, who is very say energetic and very enthusiastic, and he is very smart thinking and all, like so. This is story of a boy. Now what that boy used to do, that boy used to demand money from his parents, father especially. Father, please give me, daddy, please give me 10,000 rupees, party with the friends. Please give me 5,000 rupees, I have some work, like this, like this, like. So what used to happen, he on regular basis he used to come to his father and demand money. Father used to pay him problem without asking a single say word where you are going to utilize nothing. One day father thought that if I used to give him money like this daily, then I think this boy will not understand the value of life and the value of money. So let us teach him a lesson. So what his father did, his father made a policy for him, the house, only for him, exclusive for him. Now his father called him, his son, come here, now sit here. Now I am telling you one important thing. From tomorrow itself, I'm not going to give you a single rupee. And also one more thing, from tomorrow itself, every day, if you will give me money, the boy, if the son is giving the father any money from rupees 1 to rupees 100 and above anything, from tomorrow, if you will pay me, then I'm going to allow you in this house. Otherwise, for that day, you have to leave this house and spend your say day, night, anywhere else. I don't care. On the road, I don't care. So now this, after hearing this, the son was in tension. The boy was afraid. Oh, what is this? What happened to my father? He changed so drastically within seconds. Now the day came. Next day, in the morning itself, when he was leaving for college, his father asked him, "You remember my yesterday's condition or not?" The boy said, "Yes, yes, father, I remember that if I pay you money per day, then only you are going to allow me to stay in this house, otherwise not for that day." So thinking about the thing, now he went to the college, came to the house. Now it was a time of evening, and his father was sitting in the living room, and he thought, what can I do right now? From where I should give him the money? And his mind, a thought came, yes, my mother. So he went to his mother. Now he went to his mother and explained all the things. Mom, father gave me like this condition. What happened? Where I will go? You will you will be happy if your son is sleeping over the streets in the night. Please give me some money. I will give it to the father, and he will allow me for today itself to sleep in the house. And so hearing this is the heart of mother. Yeah, she gave 100 rupees. Now go give this to your father, but don't let him know that I am giving you money. He went to the father, gave him the money. Father, 100 rupees. And I think after giving you 100 rupees, I will spend my night in this house. Father smiled. He took that 100 rupees. Come, son. It was the backyard. There was a well. Yes, full of water. Well. Now the father and the son both were standing beside that well. Father, 100 rupees in the hand, like this. He put on the well. Asked his son, should I drop this 100 rupees in the well? Son, without hesitating, I don't care. Whatever you have to do with this 100 rupees. My role was only enough to give you this 100 rupees. That I give. Now, if you have to put this 100 rupees to the well, you can. I don't care. And seriously, father put that 100 rupees in the well. No, no, no means no feelings and all, nothing. They went. The son slept. Next day. Again, he went to the college. Evening, he came home. And after coming home, he went to his mom. Mom, please, 100. Today also, father will. Please help me. Like this few days, his mother helped him. But up to how many days his mother can help him? Every day the same scenario happened. He went to his mother. Mother will give, or say, one time 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees. He went to the father. I This is the rupees. Now I can stay. His father would tell him, come son, towards the backyard, towards the well, putting that money on the well, asking that son, shall I drop this? Son, I don't care. He dropped like this. Few days. After some days, the source of mom giving money to that boy stopped. Now he was again in tension. Now from where I should bring? So he went towards his elder sister. He went to his elder sister room. Sister, you are so you are so good. You are so talented. You are so humble. I'm very lucky to have a sister like you. And like this, he started, and sister told, please stop. Tell me what do you want. Then he explained the whole thing to his sister. Now, his sister started helping him like this. Same scenario in the house every day. He used to go to sister, have some money, give it to father, permitted to stay in the house. His father used to take him towards the well, asked him whether I should drop, and drop. Same answer. Do whatever you want to do. I have given it. Now I can stay. You have to drop it to the well, you can drop. Now that source of his sister also stopped one day. He used to borrow money from his friends, other persons out of the house. Again, one day in his life came where all the sources were stopped. Now, when he was going to the college, in the morning itself, he was in a burden of thoughts. Now, what will happen? Each and every source has been stopped. Mother, sister, friends, relatives, everybody. From where I can get money right now so that I can stay my home at my home tonight. Otherwise, my father will throw me out. Now, when he was going to the college in the morning itself, there was a board on the street at a site, construction site. Needed a person will pay him 20 rupees for the day. So he thought, no other option is there. Let's see what happens. So he went to the construction site. He was admitted to the construction site, and now the whole day he worked hard there. He used to say on his back carry the sack of cement. He used to work very hard the whole day. And in the evening, when he was exiting that site from the whole day of work, he got 20 rupees. That 20 rupees he saw, and he was satisfied that today my father is going to permit me to live in the house. Now he went to the home. He was full of dust and everything mess. And he went to the father, 20 rupees. Father looked at him. They his everything has changed. What happened? No problem. Let us come to the well, backyard. So he and the son, father and the son both went to the well. Again, again, same scenario. His father put that 20 rupees on the well and asked his son, shall I drop this 20 rupees in the well? This time, no answer. Again, his father asked the same thing. Oh, my son, where are you? I'm asking you something. Shall I drop this 20 rupees in the well? And that son shouted, Father, what is this? Daily, what are you doing? You have any sense how hard I have worked today to earn this 20 rupees? And this 20 rupees you are asking me to put in the well in a seconds. Do you know how hard I have worked to earn this 20? At that time, the father pulled that 20 rupees, gave it in the hands of son, and clapped for him. Son, today you have learned the lesson. Up till today, you are putting my money into the well. My money into the well. Sometime 5,000, sometime 10,000 in a party. Now you have experienced how hard work it needed to earn the money. So I think you have learned the lesson to value the money in your life. Don't become the character of that boy in your personal life. To value the hard work that your parents do to earn your money and value their money. So this was the story. Now, coming further towards the topic, section number 8, composite and mixed supply. Yes, composite and mixed supply. Now, what do you mean by, sir, composite supply? Composite supply, the definition itself there is given. Composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person to a recipient. Who is making the supply? Taxable person to whom a recipient, and comprises two or more taxable supplies of goods or services or both or any combination thereof, which are naturally bundled, which are naturally bundled, the important word, supplied in conjunction with each another in the ordinary course of business, one of which is a principal supply. Best example in front of you, mobile. OnePlus mobile. There is a box. What you get in that box? Handset, charger, cable, some stickers, and manual. All these products, are having different rates, different classification, different HSN code. But all these goods are supplied together in conjunction with each other. This happens that once the headset is coming, and in another parcel charger is coming, in another parcel the cable is coming, another parcel manual is coming. No, all will come in one parcel in a single box. They are supplied in conjunction with each another, supplied in the ordinary course of business. They are naturally bundled, and among these all, one goods or service will be a principal supply. Among this supply, one will be a principal supply, means the most important supply. In this case, the supply is of handset, principal supply. Other are ancillary supply to it. This is principal supply. So in case of composite supply, the rate of principal supply will be applicable on the whole supply. We know this thing. The principal supply rate will be applicable on the whole supply. This is it. Now, see mixed supply. Mixed supply means two or more individual supply of goods or services or any combination thereof made in conjunction with each another by a taxable person for a single price. Where such supply does not constitute a composite supply, it means these are not naturally bundled, but you make it a bundle. But you make it a bundle to supply for a single price. To supply for a single price. Yes, like this celebration pack. See, there is dairy milk crackers, fruit and nut, 5-star 3D, normal dairy milk. What you are doing this thing can be separately sold. But to make it as a pack, what you have did, you have make a bundle. These are not naturally bundled. This can be sold separately, but you have made it as a naturally bundled. You have made it as a naturally bundled. You are selling it for a single price. Single price. So this is mixed supply. Yes, and in case of mixed supply, we apply the rate of that supply which is having the highest rate of tax. Yes, we apply the rate of that supply which is having the highest rate of tax. Now, sir, again and again you are telling the word naturally bundle, naturally bundle, naturally bundle. What it means? These are the cases where you should treat the thing naturally bundled. Perception of the customer. Say first thing, perception of the customer or service recipient that it should be naturally bundled. Majority of service provider in a particular area of business provide a similar service. Nature of various services is a bundle of service, means you have to give them part and parcel. Say for example, say developing an application, you have to maintain also. Not development of application is enough, you have to maintain also. So that maintenance of application is a bundle of service with development of application. There is a single price or the customer pays the same amount. Elements are normally advertised as a package. Say for example, the advertisement of a pen with a wooden stick, dosa pen with a wooden stick. So they are given in advertisement, that will be a bundle itself, naturally bundle. Yes, different elements are not available separately. Like for example, in your cell phone package, there is a SIM ejector tool. that is not separately available in the market, no? That's why that is naturally bundle. Different elements are integral or overall, if one or more is the etc etc. So this is the definition of naturally bundle. Overall you have to learn. Now composite supply, rate of that principal supply, mixed supply, highest rate will be applicable. Now there are certain clarifications. Say for example, printing industry, food supplied to patients, activity of bus bodybuilding, retreading of tires, and supply food or beverages in cinema hall. There are some say, type of clarifications relating with composite and mixed supply. Now, what is this? Printing industry issue. Printing industry issue. Say, for example, you went to a Xerox shop and there you said him, sir, please give us the BCom notes. If he is already having that, he will directly print and give it to you. Now, what is handling to you? Goods, papers? No, yes. So there is involved printing service also and supply of goods paper also. So in which case you should consider is supply of goods or supply of service. Say for example, if you have say if you are giving your content to that printing work provider and is printing and giving you as a bunch of papers, then the content is yours. It is a supply service. That person is supplying the service to print your content and give it. The goods are involved, but the main element is supply of service. If you are giving him the content, but what if he is already having the content, then it is purely supply of goods. Yes, he is purely having a supply of goods. So this is the difference. Second, food supply to the patients. Say when the food is supplied to a patient who is admitted in the hospital. In that case, this will be a composite supply which will covered under the healthcare service and though exempt. This is we are going to discuss in that exemption chapter also. Activity of bus bodybuilding. Yes, activity of bus bodybuilding. It means you are giving the raw material and that person is using the machineries and building the bus outer structure, metal structure, and giving it to you. It is supply of service depending on the circumstances. Retreading of tires. Retreading of tires. Retreading of tires means Retreading means say repairing the tires which is torn and all. So retreading of tires, if you are repairing that tire, then it is a supply of service. That is a supply of service. But if you are selling that rethreaded tire, supply of goods. Yes, supply of goods. Supply of food or beverages in cinema hall. Yes. Now this is important because I expect this clarification can come in the exam as an MCQ or anywhere in adjustment. Supply of food or beverages in cinema hall. Now, when it will be taxable? Composite mixed supply. What it will be taxable? We'll see is food or beverages are supplied by way of a part of service and supply independent of the cinema exhibition service. Yes. See, when you visit a cinema hall, when you buy a ticket, there is a proper display advertisement when you buy a ticket that if you buy this with ticket, it will be a combo ticket plus food, ticket plus popcorn and soda like this. So it will be a combo. So where the sale of cinema ticket and supply food and beverages club together, you are paying one amount for both of them. 199 you paid, you got the ticket also and combo of food also. 500 you paid XYZ according to the cinema hall where you visit, different rates are there. So what you have did, you paid a single amount for the ticket and the food. When you paid a single amount for the ticket and the food, such are called as bundle supply. It will bundle. But what if, sir, I purchase the tickets and I am buying that particular food from the restaurant itself inside that cinema hall? In that case, in that case, in that case, what will happen, sir? In that case, different supply. In that case, different supply when ticket is purchased differently and food is purchased differently. But what if both are purchased in a combo? If they are purchased in a combo, it will be a composite supply where principal supply will be the supply of cinema ticket. where principal supply will be the supplier cinema ticket, and accordingly that rate will be. Now this is the thing. So here in this section we have completed the introduction part, the definitions, and the meaning of the term supply, section number 7. All things we have completed here. Now another things we are going to have in the another part itself. Yes, for this marathon day this is enough. Anybody want to purchase this material, you can click on the link below given in the description and have this material. Right now discount code is also available for you people, that you are going to see as a pop-up on the website itself when you are buying this material. Yes, this will be surely helpful to you for one day before your examination preparation. So up till this, I think we should stop here right now, and the rest of the part of GST revision will be in the next upcoming videos. For that, stay tuned, subscribe our channel, follow our each and every say Instagram profile, join our WhatsApp channel for being updated for more type of